Bizarre Brain Comics. Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I am Giver, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. And this time I want to take a little look at Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. But before we look at that, old business. Remember, especially if you happen to be new, you can get my comic book, Bizarre Brain Comics Anthology, only available on Amazon for $7.99. It's some comics, it's stories, some adventure, some humor, and some gags, and just some fun. So check that out if you haven't already, and I want to thank all those who have bought their copy. Thank you so much, and I also want to thank all my subscribers out there. Okay, Wally Wood's Thunder Agents. I've talked about the Thunder Agents before from some of the 60s material. Well, this is from, I forgot what year, 1985, I think it was. Let me take a quick look here. And yeah, 1985. Published by Deluxe Comics from 1985, Thunder Agents #2. And of course, Wally Wood created the Thunder Agents back in the 60s for Tower Comics. It was right off the Daredevil's title at Marvel. And he created this group of superheroes for Tower. It was a combination of superheroes and the spy genre, which was real popular at the time. So it's basically a mashup of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and the Avengers. And here we have this cover. Very dramatic and dynamic cover illustration by George Perez. And then we have a teaser on the back cover for the next issue, also by George Perez. And the Thunder Agents, yeah, they were spy types, but they were superheroes. They didn't have powers themselves. The powers was in their gear. The main Thunder Agent character is usually Dynamo here. That's this one over here, and his power is in his belt. Then we have No Man, who is actually an android with a human consciousness inhabiting it. And he can, with android bodies all over the world, he can bop wherever he needs to go. And his cloak gives him the power of invisibility. And here's Raven, who his costume gives him the power of flight. And here is Lightning, that's over here, and his costume, of course, gives him super speed. And then we have some of the Thunder Squad, which are just regular agents. They're an elite squad of regular non-powered agents. And I won't talk about these because they're not in the book. Okay, and I've talked about them before with showing Wally Wood's artwork. And they've had many reprints. They've bopped between the rights have been bopped to various other publishers, including DC Comics, I believe. But this is Deluxe Comics. So we'll just take a look briefly, and then get into the story I want to. Here, and of course, here is the first story is Raven, and this is some great George Perez artwork here. Of course, he's best known. Oh, that's really nice. Best known for the new Teen Titans work. Yes. So he must have gone from the Titans to this, and I don't know how long this this publication lasts. I've got one or two other issues, I think, or have had. Their letters page, and then we go to a little story, short story featuring lightning, and this was drawn by Keith Giffen with Tom and Mary Barbaum doing the writing, and this kind of plays into the next story. It's just some background stuff, flashbacks of stuff with lightning, and then he shows. Then at the end, he reveals the toll that this costume wearing this costume with the super speed has had on, because has accelerated his aging process. And here he is, still just a young man, but he is an old man when he takes off his mask. And then we have center spread, great pinup of the Iron Maiden, who is one of the main villains and also love interest for Dynamo. So here we're Thunder Agents. This is when lightning strikes, and this is apparently continued from the previous issue. This is Lightning, our super speed guy, written by Steve Englehart and David Singer, with penciled by Dave Cockrum. And so it's got some really nice artwork, which are just punched up by the inks of the great Murphy Anderson. And you can really see the Anderson style in this inks. And the thing is, No Man, Dynamo, and Raven have been captured by a villain who used to be one of the Thunder Squad, but he's gone. Now he's Psychosis, the villain. And this is all a trap set for Lightning. And he says, oh, he's going to take off and go do it. And his boss doesn't want him to go, and his girlfriend doesn't want him to go. And he goes anywhere. They don't know where he is, but he's using his super senses, and he's able to figure out where they're going. And then this panel right here is kind of like a tribute to the what's his name, Carmine Infantino Flash panels. At least that's what it reminds me of from the 50s and 60s. And he figures out where, but then he's racing, and the age is catching up to him. He's tuckered, so he takes his costume off, and while they're going, and it turns out they do know where they're located, but they didn't want to tell him. And so Kitten, his girlfriend, she takes off. She's going to go meet him there. Well, he's having to take the bus for a while. And there they are in the clutches of Psychosis, and it looks kind of like a Stranko type get up for the villains. Well, Kitten gets there, parachutes down, because she thinks Lightning is already there. And this is, of course, No Man, Dynamo, and Raven. She gets in, sneaks in, and confronts Psychosis. And then he's got these big robots going against her. She takes out one of them, but the other one captures her. Then Lightning finally gets there, puts his costume back on, and he's flashing back to when he was pals with this guy, Psychosis. He's even got a face mask to make of his younger face, so he doesn't look old. And then turns on his suit, boom, and he's ready to go, and he zips in. And here great panel here of the super speed fighting, taking out that robot, boom, boom, boom. And Psychosis uses one of his gizmos on him and says, "My angst ray will force you to confront your deepest fear, your rapidly impending death." And then here they didn't even, justifiably so, I think, didn't ink this panel, because it's beautifully rendered in pencils, giving it an eerie, creepy look. And says, "Well, but I've already confronted that, so it's not his fear." And he zips in, takes care of him, and rushes to save Kitten, because he's about to zap her. And while he's saving her, Psychosis gets away. Then he rescues. Meanwhile, the No Man psychically controls one of the robots, busted up robots, gets Dynamo's power belt on, kaboom, and he is empowered, and he frees the others. Then they go after. This is all while during the other encounter. Goes down into the tunnels underneath the building, and it was a beautiful artwork. Nice storytelling. Oh, it's a great figure. See if you see that great figure right here. Oh, it's a great figure. It's all beautifully rendered and performed, and it's a good story too. I really enjoy it. They chase him down, and when Lightning can't go any farther, the others take up the slack, and they take him out and capture him. And there he is. Now they've captured him, and he takes off. That is the end of the story. And then it has a teaser for upcoming story of Mentor. The Mentor was originally a man, but he had bad problems with his. It was from the helmet. Now the lady's taking the part. And then there's this great ad. I'd love to show you this. Stan Drake, Leonard Starr on the Kelly Green, a series of graphic novels. I'm going to cover some of that because I've got a couple of those graphic novels. And then here John Workman did this beautiful rendering on this ad here, and he did some of the lettering in this book. Oh, and it's a really nice all around piece. I enjoyed the stories. I enjoy the artwork. I'm not as thrilled with the Keith Giffen stuff in there. That's his style. The style at that period he was using, and I'm not thrilled with it. It kind of worked for Ambush Bug, but not so much for the others. But I do recognize his quality as an artist and a writer. So that's what I've got for Wally Wood's Thunder Agents from Deluxe Comics, 1985, number 2. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe. Let me know, are you familiar with the Thunder Agents? Have you seen my other Thunder Agents episodes? And see, no Wally Wood in here, but what do you think of Wally Wood's creation? How about the execution here of these, or some of the other iterations of Thunder Agents that I haven't seen or I'm familiar with? Thank you for joining me, and let me know in the comments below. And remember, comics are art.